exploitive lyrics of sexuality and unhealthy relations. They used a child in a video, had the girl say confrontational, exploitive speech. In videos, as things went on, they seemed to not really like each other and were playing this up, or maybe not playing. At some point, they stopped being a band, stopped being a couple. Robin went with someone else. She had a bit of a drug addict vibe. Yellow Thunder Woman started doing things with her sister, went back to her family on the reservation in Dakota, back with her sister. She and her sister did a goth band, did a few songs, videos. She did Everyone Has a Secret. Hearing that is where I came into the story, her story. One night I dreamed of the song and began to see what could become the storyboard for a video. I remember waking up and writing down the list of scenes. I messaged her and got her phone number. I called her with the idea for the video and asked what her idea was for it. She had a different idea. She said I should make mine. Her idea is a woman has murdered her husband and is running with tears streaming down her face in a highly emotional state. She and her sister were doing pieces of video with that idea in it. A woman highly agitated who has killed her man, her husband, and she carries that secret. My wife and I, with our children, agreed to go to Standing Rock. My wife had arranged for us to watch the Children of the Chiefs while the protests happened. The day we arrived, it had been really violent just before. People were sort of quiet and in shock. It was cold and people were sheltering in the hallways of the tribal casino hotel. All the rooms were full. We shared a room with our friends from New York City. People would protest and there was a huge camp of the tribes, a huge number of teepees and vehicles and supplies. We helped organize the clothing donations into piles, stacks of sorted objects. Many things were arriving, donated things. I felt we had made a mistake bringing the children. I was not comfortable leaving them to go protest. I felt limited and frustrated that I did not face the agents, the officers, security, whomever it was that was doing the violence against the tribal people and their allies. I had planned to meet with Yellow Thunder Woman after Standing Rock, but M didn't support the idea. I think she was afraid to let me go. So we traveled back to our home in California. Yellow Thunder Woman met someone. Hold on. Fuck. Yellow Thunder Woman met someone I could tell now from her posts on Facebook. She became pregnant. It seemed her politics were being influenced in less obvious directions. She was highly intelligent and independent in the projection of her ideas. It was sometimes difficult to see. Res social life seems harsh, rough. Things were happening on the res socially. Violence, drunken violence at bars, fights, injuries. She would post photos in which we see she had injuries. She was getting into fights or receiving violence from someone, and now she was pregnant. And she had the baby, a girl, but then something happened. Again, she was posting photos indicating injury or illness, harm that had occurred, and then she was gone. I learned she was dead. No reason was given. I friended the father of her baby. I wrote to him, "I know you were friends," but I didn't know, I just wrote that. It was announced that a memorial would happen at a community room for the res. I wanted to go, but I didn't. Perhaps I didn't have the money to go. I think if I had gone, I might have gotten the story of what happened to her. I called the tribal police to ask the cause of death, but I gave them her stage name, and they said that name was not in their system. They said, "She is not in our system." Little was published about her death. There's some mention online, an online obit, an occasional fan post. Her sister lives perhaps still on the res. I think I should contact her and talk to her about what happened. I assume the father of her daughter knows. Robin found another person to collab with after the punk person. He's resurfaced in the music scene somewhat. Recently, I mistakenly thought their film, The Canary Effect, had fallen off the internet, but it is still available. Years ago, I spoke to someone who has the same name as Robin, a graphic designer who patiently explains that he is not that Robin Davey. I'm not sure where to go with this. My main link to her is the dream for the music video of Everyone Has a Secret. But now I just want to know what happened surrounding her death and why no one talks about it. Particularly because they did the movie about the Native American genocide. She's another victim of it, perhaps on two levels. The music industry she left and the reservation she returned to ultimately die, to become a mother and then to die too young. There are pictures now of her baby, her daughter, in the arms of her father, her white father.